but I'm glad I didn't.
My skin felt dull until I tried this.
Feels light, clean, and easy to use.
Now it's part of my daily routine.
I'll link it below if you're curious.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that completely flips a very common mindset right on its head. You know that feeling, right? It's Friday, you clock out, the weekend is here, and you think, finally, I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. A lot of people call it Freedom Friday, but today we're looking at a totally different angle. What if Freedom Friday isn't just about escaping your obligations to someone else? What if it's literally the perfect opportunity to start building something that belongs entirely to you? It's not the day to stop working. It's the day you finally start working on your own vision. To really grasp this, let's look at two very different types of freedom. The source material shares the super relatable story from Markel. Back in the day, he worked these grueling 11-hour shifts in a corporate call center. But because he was a top performer, he got a perk. He actually got to pick his own shift. So he would strategically pick a Tuesday morning schedule just so he could hit up his favorite Chinese buffet right when they opened. Quiet, no crowds, just him and his food. At the time, he felt like he had an amazing level of freedom. But looking back, that was really just an illusion of control, wasn't it? He was still totally tied to a schedule someone else made. True freedom, true autonomy means complete ownership of your time and your assets. It means your work week doesn't arbitrarily start on Monday and end on Friday just because some corporate rulebook says so. And getting to that level of true freedom, it requires a pretty massive mindset shift. The core mantra here is simple, but incredibly demanding. Just listen to this. Rain, sleet, hail, snow, broke hand, construction work going on around me, I'm still committed to the process. Markel actually backed this up by hosting his daily 10-minute building challenge for 54 weeks straight. Think about that. Over a year without missing a single beat. That is relentless, uncompromising consistency. He points out that true builders stand out because they actually commit to the process when everyone else is just talking about it or making excuses. It kind of reminds me of that Kendrick Lamar song. True action takers can proudly say, "They not like us." Most people let minor daily distractions win. True builders show up no matter the weather or the circumstances.
But here's the reality check, and it's a big one. Consistency alone, while amazing and absolutely necessary, isn't quite enough to break free. You need leverage. Working incredibly hard without leverage is just spinning your wheels in the mud. And today, the ultimate lever at our disposal is artificial intelligence. AI is the tool that can take your consistent daily effort and just multiply your productivity exponentially. If you aren't using AI to turn your rough ideas into actual tangible building blocks, the gap between you and the competition is just going to keep getting wider every single day. AI is literally what allows a solo builder to effectively do the work of an entire specialized team.
So let's see how this all comes together in the real world with the Blank Book case study, Market Demand in Action. We're going to look at a highly fascinating, viral story about an author named Rihanna Texaria. And I want to be super clear right up front. We are looking at this strictly as an impartial business case study. It perfectly demonstrates how combining creativity and leverage can solve very real-world problems. Get this. Texaria managed to sell exactly 1,000 copies of a self-published book in just 2 months. Selling 1,000 copies is a massive achievement for any independent author. But here's the crazy catch that makes this such a unique business study. The book contained completely blank pages, literally no words inside. It was designed entirely as a physical prop, mocking political claims that Donald Trump is divinely chosen to save America. Now, regardless of where you personally fall on the political spectrum, let's just focus strictly on the sheer business mechanics happening here. She sold 1,000 physical copies of a book with absolutely nothing written inside of it, all because she deeply understood her audience. So why did she go out of her way to do this? Well, this is where the story gets deeply relatable and really grounds the whole viral stunt in reality. She used this creative leverage to successfully pay off $4,000 in personal medical debt. She had a very real, very pressing why. She didn't just accept a regular income that wasn't covering her bills, and she didn't throw her hands up in defeat. Instead, she took her after hours, her personal freedom time, and decided to proactively build a unique product to directly solve her financial problem. This brilliantly illustrates the strict business mechanics of her success. How exactly did she pull this off? First, she identified an incredibly passionate niche. As a former devout evangelical, Texeria engaged in a very specific active conversation about MAGA Christianity. Second, she found a unique market void for a physical, humorous product right within that highly charged niche. And third, and this is probably the most important part, she took action with zero prior book writing experience. She didn't let a lack of traditional credentials or industry gatekeepers stop her from leveraging her unique idea into a tangible asset that paid off for medical bills. Which leads us perfectly into the NBA analogy. Stop competing and start creating. This directly addresses how the vast majority of people approach online marketing, affiliate marketing, or really any side business entirely wrong. You know what most people do? When they're starting out, they try to jump straight into the most heavily saturated, highly competitive markets imaginable. Think about it. Trying to sell the exact same affiliate product as millions of other people is exactly like trying to enter the NBA. Millions of kids grow up practicing every single day, wanting to be like Mike. But the harsh reality is, there are only a limited number of teams and a heavily restricted number of roster spots. The success rate for achieving financial freedom by doing the exact same thing as everyone else in a saturated market is incredibly slim. So instead of trying to compete against the absolute best of the best in the NBA, you need to design the basketball. You need to create unique, highly targeted niche products that only you can offer to a very specific crowd. The source material shares a vivid, real-world example of what designing the basketball looks like in practice. It highlights a black shoe manufacturer who recognized early on that he couldn't just compete head-to-head with giant billion-dollar corporate sneaker brands. So what did he do? He found a specific, underserved market. He began manufacturing shoes featuring the images of famous, often unspoken of black leaders and entrepreneurs right on the soles. Because he was supporting a worthy endeavor and filling a unique cultural void that the major brands completely ignored, his company gained massive grassroots support. He wasn't trying to be like everyone else, he leveraged a specific passion into a completely unique asset. So, what is the actionable path to true financial and time freedom actually look like? It flows logically like this. Step 1, you absolutely must learn foundational marketing skills. There is just no skipping the basics. Step 2, you leverage AI tools to multiply your output so you aren't working yourself into the ground doing manual tasks. Step 3, and here is the absolute most critical part of the entire equation. You must apply those skills to your personal passions and products, not just someone else's system. Master those 3 phases, and you achieve step 4, buying back your time. Time freedom is what actually gives you the ability to enjoy your life on your own terms, without being chained to a desk for 12 hours a day. A massive part of staying on this path and actually succeeding is surrounding yourself with a community of people who are out there doing it. The source mentions a perfect real-world application of this concept, Wayne Crow's live training. And notice when it's happening, on a Saturday, the weekend. While everyone else is checking out, hitting snooze, or binge-watching TV, consistent builders are tuning in at 10 a.m. Eastern to learn new free traffic strategies and stack commissions. It's all about plugging into a network of people who share that exact rain, sleet, or snow commitment to the process that we talked about earlier. Which brings us to the ultimate question for you as you look ahead at your own schedule. Are you going to relax this Friday, or are you going to build? True freedom isn't just the end of your corporate work week. It is the beautiful, rare opportunity to finally work on something that belongs to you. Don't let your hard-won free time become a void of endless scrolling. Leverage your ideas, leverage AI, and start building the assets that will eventually buy back your time forever. I hope this explainer gave you some powerful tools to rethink how you approach your weekend. Keep learning, keep building, and we'll see you in the next one.
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me, yeah. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash. like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realize purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't in applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feels misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. Let's say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason, I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling, I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting, no more waiting, no more chasing, no more chasing. Internal driver, that's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it looked like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated, they the most committed to something deeper than motivation. I don't need a reason, I am the reason, I don't need the feeling, I move with meaning, no more waiting, no more chasing, internal driver, that's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
Welcome to the Hustleverse Movie Studio Mindset. This group exists for one type of person, the creator who's ready to build something real. You've watched enough, you've scrolled enough, you've bookmarked enough tutorials that never turned into action. This is where that changes. Inside this community, we build digital assets using AI videos, music, faceless channels, affiliate systems, automated content workflows, and income streams that keep working long after you press publish. The philosophy here is simple creativity clocks in, the excuses clock out. Drop a comment in the comments and tell us what's the one thing you want to build first inside the Hustleverse.
Serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 56, day 1, and we are right at 16 minutes into today's challenge. So let's get to it. Let's start by peeling the curtain back and exposing the most valuable document in all of online marketing. And I want to just say this to you guys. This past weekend was a great weekend. You know, in the US, we celebrated, Independence Day. We celebrated a major holiday, a major milestone, 250 years. Now, for some people, they celebrated a lot more than others. For some people, it was a great day of celebration to look at all of the positive things that this country has accomplished. And for some people, it was a time of reflecting on, some of the things that weren't so great. Some people, thought to themselves, yeah, we're celebrating, but there's some things that we could have done better throughout this journey, throughout this 250-year journey. There's some things that we could have done a lot better than what we did. Now, better, that right there is a word that kind of defines something being better off, better than what it could have been. Um, the possibility that things could have been worse today if things were done differently back then. That's a strong possibility also. Things could have been a lot worse if some of the good wasn't done or if some of the bad wasn't done either. So that's a deep topic right there. But it is what it is. We're here today. We're here on this Monday, what I consider to be Take Your Heart Back Monday. And we want to focus on today, the present. What is your current day looking like for you? How has your life been going so far? You haven't been around for 250 years, but what has your journey, your personal journey been like? Has it been a great one? Has it been one of, you know, all good? Or has it been a little mixture of good and bad? And I want you to think about, where do you want the next or the rest of your life, that journey, to head towards? So as we reflect on Monday, on Take Your Heart Back Monday, is my goal to not overwhelm you, not to flood you with a bunch of information. I want you to think. I want you to be a thinker on a daily basis. I want you to get that mindset switch, but I understand what Monday is for the majority of people. It's that day that you're bogged down with a lot of things on your mind. You're either headed to work right now, or you're, you know, at work, and you're thinking to yourself, man, another week, another start of the week that, I didn't pretty much enjoy last week. And I'm not looking forward to this week being any better. So if that's your journey, I want to encourage you today. I want to inspire you. I want to motivate you. Hopefully the intro has got you going. It's got you energized. It got you looking at things with a different perspective. And I tried to, I flipped it around a little bit on the intro. So I had one of my AI business partners start off, today's live. One of my AI UGC influencers. Now, I haven't named her. Maybe you want to give her a name. But she was promoting a product, a specific product. Now, that specific product is not a real product, but it was an example of what is possible. Now, I want to flip from the most valuable document in all of online marketing to another document. This one right here is a document that I've been creating, and it's specifically for AI UGC content. And it's a workflow for my favorite AI video creation tool, which is Video Express. Now, that video that you saw in the beginning, that was created using Video Express. And if you didn't know it, you know, you would have thought that this young lady right here was a real person. Now, of course, there's a lot of AI UGC content going on nowadays, and it's only going to get a lot more. There's going to be a lot more UGC content creators, and that's going to leave room and opportunity for people who normally wouldn't be able to get into marketing and advertising. Is going to leave an opportunity for them to be able to take advantage of promoting any and every product that they can possibly think of. Now, it's going to also eliminate some opportunities, which there's a lot of people fighting against this right now. There's a lot of people that are, let's say actors, actresses, models, spokespersons that would normally get this type of job promoting a product or service, and they would get paid a lot of money, which means that companies would spend and have to invest a lot of money into advertising and paying for professional models and people like that, right? But now the game has changed. Now companies have the opportunity to save money. They have the opportunity to not have to pay $1 million contracts to an influencer just because they have popularity, because they might be attractive. They don't need to go out and get that model that's going to draw attention. They can actually create their own model for pennies on the dollar, so to speak. And that model can do just as good or even better than a real live human model. That's all up to the user of the tool, right? So, of course, with great opportunity comes some type of challenges. People are going to have access to so many tools that allows them to create content. And some tools are, expensive. Some tools are very high end. Some tools will make it look so realistic that you'll see the hairs on a person's face, you know, stand up and do just about anything that you want it to do. But still, even with the high def, the quality and everything like that, those people with the tools are still going to need the skills. Because the same thing applies today that it applied yesterday to all of the things in the past. Back in the past, there were people who were great pencil artists. They were able to create things with simple pencil, paper, and they were so skilled that they can create something that people would engage with and that people would like and love a lot more than someone who possibly, you know, recorded a real video or had a human person in it. I always go back to the same, examples because I see the examples in my mind all the time. When I think of things like Red Bull, that's a company that's built off of, you know, kind of like a sketch art content creation. They didn't necessarily have to use humans. They could use drawings. They were able to use drawings. They were able to illustrate their point and draw pictures that looked like sketch art of characters with wings. And that was enough to turn them into a multi-million dollar company or possibly even $1 billion company now, right? But it was enough. And it wasn't because they had the best CGI, they didn't use the most high tech equipment. They kept it simple and basic, but they kept it relatable. They kept it interesting. They kept it engaging. They kept it in a way that people who, you know, engage with their content, they actually took action. They presented their product in a way that told people that if they were to acquire this product, they would experience a transformation. Transformation. Now, that's one of the major keys to success when you're building an online business. That's one of those words. I know we focus so much on, specific words. One word, for example, being clarity. You'll hear that 100 times over in meeting after meeting after meeting. But there's other words that help people, and just those singular words help people become successful. And transformation is one of those major keys to success, that one word. I realized in my years of being in online marketing that people don't necessarily care about the same thing that I care about. And you have to realize that also. People don't necessarily care about the same thing that you care about. Now, me personally, I tell you guys all the time, I'm all about putting in the work. I'm not a lazy person when it comes to doing the work. Me personally, I don't want to 100% rely on AI. I don't want to just press a button and get an output. Now, I want to adjust that statement just a little bit because I do want the ability to be able to just press a button and get an output, but I still want to do the work. I want to get an output like this, for example, and then say to myself, man, that looks good. Now, how can I actually put in the work to recreate it myself also? Can I actually get this done? Even though the AI did it, can I actually get it done by putting forth a little more creativity, adding my own particular flair to it? Now, some people, they don't want to do any of the work. They want everything DFY, done for you. And they're looking for a shiny object after shiny object that says that it's going to do this, that, and the third. All you have to do is buy me. All you have to do is just pay for this, and it's going to make everything possible for you. But that's not the case. There is no get rich quick schemes. There is no one button solutions. It all requires you to put in some work. Now, me personally, I let the AI do its thing when it created this UGC influencer. But what did I do after? I said, hey, it's not good enough. It's not good enough to just have the influencer and, I got the picture. Now I want to create a video and I want to put in some work. So I went to my favorite tool, Video Express, and I said, hey, let's turn this into a video. And then I turned it into a video like what you saw. And then I said to myself, okay, we got the video. Now, what else can I do? What else can I do to add more value? Because I like to put in the work. I like to take things from one level to another level to the next level and as far as I can possibly take it. So I said, okay, I was able to do this. Now, can I actually teach people how to do the same thing? So I said, okay, let's create a document, a lead magnet that will help others recreate what it is that we were able to accomplish. And that's the progression of how I look at things. I don't want to be the person that's just pushing a button and thinking that I'm going to get a result and that people are just going to, you know, flock to me and that money is just going to start flowing, which I know that that's not the case. I know that it's going to take work. I know that it takes a lot of effort. But back to one of the things that I also realized. I realized that for the most part, let's be real. Let's be real. A lot of people don't respect the people that actually put in the work. You know, the people that actually put in the work aren't the ones that get the most credit. They don't get the most respect. They don't get paid the most. They don't get looked at in the same light as somebody else that might have pressed a couple of buttons and was able to achieve something. Now, I'm not going to get too petty. I'm not going to get too petty, but I just want you to understand how I feel. You know, there's easier ways to do things and there's more complicated ways of doing things. I know that there's specific blueprints that will allow you to gain a specific level of success if you're willing to do it that way. Some people think that they can buy their way into success, and there are some people that are, somewhat, buying their way into success. Let's be real. Now, me, I'm willing to invest in myself. I'm willing to invest in what I need to invest in. But at the same time, I'm not willing to try to think of the proper word, the proper wording. The word gouge comes to my mind. I'm not willing to be price gouged. I'm not willing to, you know, have to exchange a exorbitantly large amount of money to obtain a result that, you know, you could possibly achieve without having to, invest that absorbent amount of money, right? But they say you pay for what you want, right? You pay for what you want if you're willing to invest, if you're willing to pay the cost, so to speak, then you can get certain doors unlocked for you. But me, I'm a little petty. I'm a little petty because I see, I see people who are willing to, you know, pay that cost to get into those rooms. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they skillfully earn the right to be in that room. Let's be real. I've seen more successful people than myself into rooms and get in positions and get the results, the financial results than I have. And they don't have nearly half the skills that I have. Now, me personally, on a petty level, I don't respect that. I don't. I understand it. I understand that that's how certain things work. But, you know, where I'm from, I always tell you guys this. Where I'm from, we do things different. Where I'm from, you couldn't walk with your head up if you wasn't really about that life. If you wasn't really about what you said you were about and you were one of those type of people that, put on the front, one of those type of people who, told all the stories, I did this, I did that, blah, blah, blah. And you wasn't really about that, then you would sooner or later get exposed. And if you weren't really like that, as we say, then you wouldn't be respected, no matter what it was, whether it was for good habits or bad habits. If you said that you was about that life, so to speak, then you better have put in that type of work. We have a saying where I'm from, and it goes like this, people respect the shooter. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's how I was raised. Now, I don't condone violence or anything like that. I don't condone any of those type of activities, but the fact of the matter is, if you say you like that, you better have some bodies. Where I'm from, you gotta have the proof. You gotta have the proof. You have to have the results. You have to have done it in order for you to have that particular respect. And it's just like how I feel within the online market. I feel like in order for me to be able to speak it, in order for me to be able to tell you, hey, I'm the best at what I do, or, I'm this, I'm that, in something, then I feel as though I have to put in the work. Not just, I purchased this and I let it do that and I press the button and now I'm trying to tell you, hey, this is how it's done. No. If it means that I have to invest hours and hours into training and learning and, getting into the tech, learning how to use the tech, that's what I'm actually proud of. And that's what I respect. You know, that's what I respect because that's something that can't be taken away from me. When all of the push button solutions go away, only the real people will still be left standing. Only the real people will be able to survive. Only the real people will be able to say, hey, you know, we can rebuild. We can redo this. So what I want to do right now, I want to show real quick. I want to show another example before I get too deep. Because I don't want to get too deep into that particular conversation. Because it's something that I get a little passionate about. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm a big believer in actually being the person that you say you are. You can't come to me saying that you're the best in AI and stuff like that and present yourself as being the best in AI, but then you don't know how to create AI. You don't know how to really use the tools. You don't you know you don't even use the tools on a regular. You might have fumbled around with it just a little bit, just enough, and then now you want to claim to be this, that, and the third. No, no. We actually get to the work. We actually put in the work, right? So I want to show you another example, another video. AI avatars, UGC content creation is going to be something that's very big, and it's going to allow people to take over any industry. And you have to learn the necessary skills. You have to, once again, not just learn how to press a button, but you have to learn how to think, how to come up with ideas and concepts, how to put the human factor into the tools you use. So let's look at this other example. Now, this one right here, the one we saw in the beginning. As a matter of fact, let me play that one first so that you can see an example once again of a physical product, UGC promotional product type of video in action, right?
I almost skipped this, but I'm glad I didn't.
My skin felt dull until I tried this.
Feels light, clean, and easy to use.
Now it's part of my daily routine.
I'll link it below if you're curious.
All right, all right. So that right there is a great advertisement in my personal opinion. Now, I know everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's going to have their own viewpoint. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. And it's all for various reasons. Some people have a fear of it because they fear the idea of AI taking over everything. They fear the idea of possibly them being out of a particular job, them losing the ability to, you know, capitalize on this particular trend. Some people, because they've been stuck in a box for so long and they've been taught that, hey, you don't need to learn how to use tech, you don't need to learn how to do this, that, and the third. Just allow us to do everything for you. They've been taught that, and they've gone with it for so long that they feel like it's too late for them to actually learn. Well, it's not. You can always learn, and you can always develop the skills if you really want to. So I want to show you the next example, right? And it's more about a digital product.
You're not broke. You're invisible. Your offer can't sell if nobody sees it.
AI content can help you attract traffic daily. Comment hustle and I'll send you the training.
All right, all right. So that right there is one of my AI avatars, one of my AI characters. And I wanted to create something a little bit different, right? So we have our male characters, we have our female characters, so that we can promote any and every product. So if we have products that's made for women, we have AI models that can promote those products. If we have products that's made specifically just for men, then we have AI models that can do that. And you can also have these particular type of models. You just have to have the right tools, and you have to be able to be creative and think about what it is that you want to actually promote. Now, when I say promote and I say products and services, my concept is a little bit different from a lot of people's concepts because, as it stated in that beginning training, when my AI business partner mentioned to you about a lot of people getting stuck in the same mode of promoting the same products and services. Most people online, they say they want to make money from home, and then they get into the niche of make money from home. They think that that's the only way to actually do it. So they sell a product that supposedly is designed to help someone make money from home. So they never actually have a physical product, let's say like this, that could actually give a physical result. See, now something like this, even though it's not a real product, LumiGlow, it's not a real product, right? But what if it was an actual product? Now, this model right here, she just told you exactly what the product is designed to do. It's designed to give your skin a glow, which is an actual result. Now, there's products out there that you can use for your face, for your skin, that will actually give you a result that will make your skin glow. And that right there is more of a guarantee than a digital product, so to speak, that's supposedly designed to help you make money. 9.9 times out of 10, those products never result in you actually being able to make money. Those products actually result in you creating something with them that they were designed to create. So, for example, if we look at the particular video that I just showed, was about a training course. Now, the training course, the majority of people online, they think that the training course is only, there's only one type of training course. And that's a training course that's designed, once again, to teach somebody else how to make money from home. But no, there's training courses that can actually teach you how to use real products that can lead you to actual real results. So, me personally, I'm creating products and services and tools that allow you to use real tools in a better way. Easier, simpler, shortcutting processes so that you don't have to put in as much work to get a real result, not a fantasy dream result. See, I rarely talk to you guys about money, about how much money you can make, because I'm not that type of person. I'm not that type of person to try to sell you a dream. I'm the type of person that's here to help you create a reality. Now, the reality is that these tools allow you to create videos, for example, like this one right here, my favorite video creation tool, Video Express. This tool not only allows you to create videos just like what you saw, but it also allows you to use them without limits. So it solves another major problem. See, one of the biggest issues that we have when it comes to AI tools, for 99% of them, is that they all come with monthly fees. You have to pay for them monthly. And then even though you're paying for them monthly, you still also have restrictions. You have what they call credits, credit limit. And those credit limits keep you from being able to create. Now, me personally, I've created the first UGC video, and then I created the second UGC video. Now, it's a combination of multiple clips. And just like with any AI tool, the first time it might not come out perfect. The second time it might not come out perfect. But when you have a tool that you're paying for monthly and you're limited by credits, you can't afford to make a mistake. But when you have a tool that gives you lifetime access without any credit limits, then you can afford to have fun. You can afford to create things in a way that allows you to experiment, to say, hey, I want to start out with this picture right here, and I want to make the books start to glow. I want to make the laptop do whatever. I want to make the phone do whatever. And I want to try all these things, and I want to look at these 4 or 5 different videos made from one picture. And I want to be able to choose the best one that I want for my particular video, right? And I want to be able to do that without worrying about having to wait till the end of the month or whenever my credits replenish. Now, if I shared with you the opportunity to access a tool like that, and you have the ability to use that tool to create an unlimited amount of content for yourself for whatever purposes, and I got compensated for that, for sharing that with you, that right there is the type of business that I want to be part of. Something that actually gets you results. I'm guaranteed to get you results, because the only result that I'm guaranteeing you is that this is going to create videos for you. And this is not going to charge you a monthly fee to get it done. And this is not going to give you credit limits. So that's it. That's the only thing that I'm promising you. And that's something that I can 100% guarantee. And I can feel good about that because I know that I'm not telling somebody something that's going to lead them down the path of, you know, they purchase it and then they start trying to make videos and the video never comes up. Or they try to make a video and then a pop-up comes up and says, you have to wait till next month in order to be able to make more videos. No, no. I believe in doing things a specific way, and that's why I'm proud to promote products and services and even trainings that allow you to get real results. So if you're interested in getting real results and using products and services that actually work, that get you the result that you want, then I want to partner with you. Now, the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about is this: results and expectations. See, what I also learned is that the majority of people online, they're looking for something that nobody can guarantee. And for whatever reason, they're willing to pay someone for a false guarantee, for a dream. And I've said this plenty of times before also. One of my dad's favorite sayings, and something that he often says, and he doesn't even have to say it to me anymore because it's embedded into my mind. He says, you don't you can't sell me a dream because I can go to sleep and get those for free. You can't sell me a dream because I can go to sleep and get those for free. Same thing with online business, in my opinion. You can't sell me a belief that this is going to happen and that is going to happen if you use this, that, and the third. You can't sell me a belief in something that I know you cannot guarantee. Once again, back to where I'm from. Like I said, if you're not from there, if you're not from specific places, then you wouldn't be able to relate. That's why they say everybody's not your target audience. Some people, they grew up in areas where, might have been picket fences and everything seemed possible, or they might have grew up in a country and they were given a specific narrative about the greatness of that country and how great and how everything was sunshines and rainbows, right? And how everything, is so smooth and that you can do anything you want and you can be anything you want, so on and so forth. And then there's other people that grew up in, a different reality. They were told the opposite, or they were more so shown the opposite, that, things ain't always what they look like. It's not all sunshines and rainbows. It rains some days. It snows. There's thunderstorms. There's tornadoes. There's hurricanes. There's mass fires. There's all these kind of things that's going on and has been going on for centuries. And that's the real reality of things. So when you have different people that look at life different ways, you're going to get different expectations. I was on a training one day and somebody told, and we were having a conversation about somewhat of the analogy that was used in the AI training about basketball. Millions of kids, they play in school and they have the dream of entering the NBA. But the reality is that there's not enough slots. The reality is that even if everybody was a Michael Jordan, great, or a LeBron James great, that there's not enough spots to fill. So the reality that you can make it to the NBA, that's not guaranteed. And that's the fact. But on that particular call, someone said that they believe that if they try hard enough, if they put in all the work, that they can be or they will be successful. And I truly believe that you have to have belief in yourself. You have to. That's the one, that's one of those keys to success. You have to have the faith and belief in yourself that, hey, if you do it, if you put in your hard work, if you do what's necessary, that you can be successful. But the fact of the matter is this, once again, everybody can't be successful. There's some rich people, there's some middle class people, there's some poor people, and then there's some homeless people. Now, in all of those different categories, there's some happy people and there's some sad people. There's some people that love their life and some people that don't love their lives. And it goes for each category. Where I'm from, once again, I knew some people that were, pretty poor, and they were some of the happiest people. They didn't care about, fancy things and stuff like that. They didn't live in a fantasy world where, you know, they looked at TV and saw the celebrities and said, oh, that's the only way that I will ever be happy. Some people, they didn't look at famous people eating at, expensive restaurants and said, wow, that food has to be, the only good food on the planet. No. Some people, they love going to the corner store. They love getting a buttered bagel, buttered roll. You know, that spot right there had the best buttered roll. That spot right there had the best beef patty with cocoa bread. Something I used to get all the time in New York. That spot right there had the best jerk chicken. Whereas where you from, you might say, "Oh, we don't eat that kind of stuff here. That's that's low class type of food." No. In your opinion, caviar might be, you know, what is considered quality and, the best type of food and the best tasting thing. But where I'm from, we don't eat that shit. Let's be honest. So it's all about perception and your idea of expectations. What do you expect? Now, I'm more of a realistic thinker. I don't expect to be a billionaire, but do I believe that I can make millions? Yes, I believe that I can make millions. And I believe that I can because I'm doing the work. Not only am I doing the work, but I feel as though if I continue to do the work, that one day I could possibly turn my work and my efforts into, multi-million dollar opportunities. Now, I also have confidence because while I see a lot of people doing the same thing that I'm doing, and they're successful, they're making more money doing this online affiliate marketing type business and they're making more money. But I also know that I have my own personal business outside of this to use a similar business model, but not exactly. And my business has done over $1 million in sales, which is a lot more than what a good majority of people who are doing affiliate marketing or this online style of business will ever make. So, two different worlds, different results, different expectations of what it takes to get there. So, I know that is possible for me in one area, but it might not be possible for me in another area. That's a reality. And that's a reality that I accept because I know that just like in the basketball analogy, everybody isn't meant to be in the NBA. And just like in that intro training video, some people are meant to make their money not playing on the field, right? But maybe they're meant to make their money by designing a better basketball. Or not designing it, but maybe just putting another logo on it, changing the color, or the sneakers, for example, targeting a specific niche of people that want a different result. Now, the sneaker itself is hopefully it's comfortable. Hopefully it lasts. Hopefully it doesn't, it's not a flimsy product, but the sneaker is designed to go on your feet and for you to walk on so that you don't have to walk on the ground. So it's guaranteed to do what it's supposed to do. It is what it is. But it also, in that specific case, it's designed to give you a feeling. The other result is a feeling. And people are buying that particular sneaker brand because it gives them a feeling of pride, a feeling of knowing that this black shoemaker is one of the few shoemakers designing this type of shoe. And it features specific things. It features, you know, celebrating black heroes. That right there is the result that creator can guarantee. The guarantee that on the sole of that shoe is going to be something that shows a person, a specific group of people, a great representation, and that's a result that they can guarantee. Now, if you get those shoes and you feel a sense of pride in yourself, that's the result that's guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that it's going to make you jump and be able to dunk, kind of like some other shoes might have said in the advertisement. You'll be able to jump and you'll be able to dunk. You'll be able to jump higher. It might help you add a little more spring in your step, right? But the rest, the results of you being able to actually jump and dunk, that takes other type of skills. You have to develop those leg muscles. You have to possibly be a certain height in order to reach the regulation hoop. So no matter how high you try to jump, you know if you're too short, you're not going to make it. So that's not a guarantee that they can fulfill. But it's your job to be able to think about what lane you want to carve out for yourself. What can you actually guarantee? What is it that someone can actually get from you that you can feel proud of and not feel, scammy about, or not feel like, hey, for a fact this person isn't going to get the result that they want. A lot of people are online promoting and selling products and services that they can't guarantee, but they do it because they were emotionally charged up, that they start to get the belief in themselves that, hey, this product or this service is going to lead me to this particular result. And it hasn't led them to the result. It doesn't have the ability to guarantee the result, but now they want to push the product onto someone else, knowing that it's not guaranteed. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. We all have choices. Like E40 said, everybody got choices. You could choose to believe what you want to believe. You can choose to promote what you want to promote, and that's all on you. And then, let the chips fall where they fall. But for me, as for me and how I do things, I want to share with you guys something that's more of a guarantee. So we saw the results. We saw that we can create our own UGC content. We can create our own AI avatars. We can promote whatever products and services, whether it be physical or digital. We have the ability to do that with the specific tools that we have access to, and those tools work. They do what they're designed to do. And the only variable, as with everything else, is you. Your ability to think creatively, your ability to put in the work, and your ability to direct. Now, this particular document right here, as it says here, I want to give you a little insight. What this guide will help you do. So it says UGC content works because it feels real. It does not feel like a polished commercial. It feels like a real person casually sharing a product, explaining a quick benefit, or giving an honest recommendation. With Video Express, you can create UGC style videos without filming yourself, hiring an influencer, or needing a studio setup. This guide will show you the exact workflow for creating AI generated UGC videos using a consistent UGC character image, a clean product image, short lip sync dialogue clips, simple product movements, the Video Express timeline editor, and B-roll and narration for longer messaging. That's what this document is going to help you do. That's what it's going to give you information about and going to teach you how to do. Now, the goal is not to create one long, perfect video. The goal is to create short, believable clips that can be stitched together into a natural UGC style ad. So you have the tools to create the ads. Now it's on you to find a viable product. Now, if it's a digital product, cool. If it's a physical product, that's cool also. If it's something that you're already currently doing or learning from, right? I want you to think, how can you use that and combine it in order to create something that's real? Now, I want to take you guys to the most valuable document in all of online marketing, once again, right? Because there's a section that I rarely scroll to. I tell you about the daily blueprint of how you can create your music on a daily basis and how you can speak to your target audience in a creative way, unlike what most people are doing online. Yes, there are people making music using AI. There's probably a million songs out there by now, right? Because a lot of people are flooding the market with AI music because they have the ability to. And it doesn't mean necessarily that it's good music. And for the most part, just like the same scenario with everybody, millions of kids wanting to be a basketball player or millions of kids wanting to be a football player, the same thing applies. The majority of people, they want to create the same type of music. They want to create the same type of music that an everyday artist is creating. They want to make a heartbreak love song like we don't have a million heartbreak love songs already. They want to create whatever it is that we've seen done a million times over, but they don't want to create something that's actually creative and different. There's a few people that are willing to do something different, to step outside of the box. So, this document helps identify who you are. There's various types of music you can make to speak to your audience. There's various styles, right, that you can make. And then it's up to you to input your topic. Now, I want you to be original. I want you to be creative. I don't want you to think, hey, I want to be the next this person, that person. I want to make this music that sounds like my favorite rapper and blah, blah, blah. No, I want you to be authentically yourself, and I want you to speak to your target audience. I want you to speak about a subject or a topic that maybe only you know about and that you feel as though others would like to know about. But I also want you to be able to apply these things to things that can help you build your online business. See, if you have access to the document, you would know at the bottom, there's this section here that's been here for probably almost a year now, for at least 6 months, right? We added this section, you know, um, a few months into the Hustler's 10-minute a day challenge. And this one right here says 100 affiliate product ideas across consumables, household items, and repeat purchase products. So, kind of like this particular product right here, it's a imaginary facial product. Now, people wash their face on a daily basis. And when a product like this runs out, they have to repurchase. So this is what we would consider to be a consumable product that people buy on a monthly basis or however often basis. But once when it runs out, they have to repurchase. And they repurchase because they get actual results from it. They get the results that it's supposed to provide, right? So that's what we're into. We're into promoting products and services that actually gets the results that we are paying for. So this right here below is a list of 100 affiliate product ideas. And you can pick any one of these product ideas and you can create your own UGC advertisements with, based on these products. Now, one of the videos that I showed you also told you about the Hustleverse movie studio mindset private group. Now, I'm streaming right now live in the private group, and I'm also streaming on Facebook. Now, the private group that I'm streaming in right now is the Hustler's Secret Success System. It's not the Hustleverse movie studio mindset private group. That's a completely different group. That's a new group that I'm creating, that I created already. And it's designed only for people that want to learn how to do this stuff here. And I'm going to be a little petty for a moment right now only because I have to. I have to be a little petty right now. Because the work that I do, what I do is something that most other people don't do. Most other people, they are attracted to other people and other things that's outside of what I do. And that's cool. Like I said about, different people, different walks of life, different this, that, and the third, they respect different things. Some people respect if you sell them hype, or if you are more into you know, done for you type stuff, or you don't have to do this type of work, you don't have to learn tech, you don't have to do this, that, and the third, whatever it is. Some people respect that type of environment or those type of skills and teachings, and other people, they'll respect more of this style of what I'm going to provide in the Hustleverse movie studio mindset group. And I'm gonna be honest, the people in this current group might not belong in that group. And I say that because of this. I say that, let's be honest, let's be real. There's a majority of people that are in the group and they just in the group because, possibly they like me as a person. I invited them to the group and they said they accepted. They said, okay, cool, I want to support. But they're just a number in the group. And as I stated months ago and time again, I don't care about vanity metrics. I don't care about having, you know, the impression of 1,000 people or whatever, just for numbers' sake. I only want to work and build with real hustlers, real people that are willing to put in the work and that's willing to do what's necessary and that's willing to show up. I don't need an ego boost for numbers' sake. I don't need people to just say, "Hey, I'm in your group." But then when I ask them, "Hey, did you watch the live? Did you do this? Did you do that?" And they're like, "Nah, I was busy, blah blah blah." And then I might see them show up somewhere else, right? I see them show up for everybody else. They participate in the other stuff, which is cool. Like I said, everybody has their thing. So in this new group, I'm only accepting people that's willing to focus on what we have going on. And I don't want anybody in there that's distracted by anything else. Hopefully that's fair because when you start your own group and you're building your business, you don't want someone that's just there to say, hey, we friends. I just wanted to support you. No, no. I only want I want the same thing that you want. You want to build a business with people that want to build a business with you. That not people that want to just feed your ego, not people that just want to like your content, maybe comment on your content because, you know, they feel as though they're doing you a favor. No. Do me a favor by doing the work. Do me a favor by showing up. Do me a favor by, purchasing the tools, purchasing the training, applying what we're learning, building a business that's in, the health and wellness, the skincare and beauty, personal care and hygiene, household essentials, kitchen and pantry, baby and family essentials, pet care. Do me a favor by actually doing the work that we teach, showing up, engaging honestly, saying, hey, I like this, I love this, because you actually are doing what it is that we teach. And me personally, I teach. I put in the work. I show people how to do things that they can actually apply and get real results from. So, if you're interested in being part of that private group, there's a specific criteria. One, you have to show up. You have to show up. And if you don't show up, then you will be kicked out. You will be removed. Simple and plain. I don't need an ego boost. I only need and want people around me that want to put in the work, because I only have today to get what I need done, and tomorrow's not guaranteed. There's no such thing as a tomorrow. There's only the present. So I have no time to be, looking at numbers and waiting on people to take action. I don't wait. I don't wait to take action. I do the work. So if that's you, then I want you to comment hustle and let's get to work. Let's do what's necessary. I've seen what they have out there and I understand, I understand. I understand what it is. I understand what it isn't, and I understand why it's not working for you. And that's what I want to change. I want to change the results. Now, if you're looking to change the results, then I think you're going to want to be on our side. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. I said I wasn't going to keep you too long, but when I get a little petty, I could take a little extra time. So we're going to go deeper into this in our, next lives and things like that. We're going to talk more about, the new private group. We're going to talk more about what does that mean for the current group, which we're going to still, post in the current group. But my focus is only going to be where, where energy flows, right? So started a new, profile and stuff like that, where, I had to start from zero. I want to attract people that's, really there for what I have to provide. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with starting all over and doing that once again, because I'm not here for numbers' sake. I'm here for impact and being able to really help people, help the right people that want to be helped and that want to partner with me and do what's necessary. So that's it. That's it. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to continue to talk about that in the next upcoming lives. And yeah, I'm going to get back to work. When I get off this live, I'm going to do some things and I'm going to continue to put in the work. And I hope to see you inside the new private group. And of course, as a bonus, when you come into the new private group, I'm going to be giving away some exclusive documents. I'm going to be giving away access to exclusive tools. I'm going to be sharing with you guys some tools that I use so that you can actually benefit from. So you'll be hearing about those. I'm not going to give everything away in this one live right here because I need you to show up. It's only for the people that show up. So you're going to get access to this document specifically for sure. And you're going to get access to some other great bonuses. Just stay connected and stay taking action. So with that, once again, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I look forward to seeing you in the next live. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. To my PayPal pin, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spin like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, this a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat